So one of the things that I thought about in terms of the next day of the first day of Kili climb was just how difficult it was and how impactful it was, and there were a few things that jumped out at me on the climb, and also just as I said on the Roadshow, and all the things that I've been going through and experiencing and learning in terms of just on my own, and also just things I want to share. And that's a few concepts of stripping things away from ourselves, and the one that I've spoken about many times is ego, external go. So same thing when you start climbing the mountain, you think you're fit, you think you're strong, you think there's certain things you should be able to do, and a lot of them you can, but there's those certain things that are just driven by ego, and Mother Nature will very quickly humble you. And I think that's the same thing in the workspace and in the life space as well, is just learn to accept the things that we can't do, and accept the limitations we might have, and also that could just be so we can strengthen and become better at them. It could be limitations at the time. And the other thing is as much as we limit the ego, it's also to eliminate this insecurity. So it's finding the balance. So not being insecure about the things that we can't do, and not being insecure about the things that we're probably not being asked to do or told to do. It's about finding that balance of knowing your worth, knowing who you are, knowing what you should and shouldn't be doing. I think that's a very important lesson to learn. So there are certain things that we shouldn't be doing, and certain things that we shouldn't be being asked to do, whether it's a part of that current journey, whether it's a part of what we need to learn. It's about not having an emotional reaction to it, whether it's an ego one or an insecurity one. And the other one is that I wanted to speak about is just leadership. And I think the common misconception is that leaders need to lead from the front, and I don't think that that's always the case. I think that one thing I learned about myself on climbing the mountain was that I thought that a lot of my value to the group would be leading from the back. So because I thought I was stronger, I was fitter, and I could get up the mountain, and I didn't think I would have any issues doing it. I thought that the best leader I could be was to be at the back with the ones who would struggle the most, and see how much I could help them get to the first part of the climb. And I think it's something I've done quite a lot in a lot of my workspaces, and a lot of things that I do is a lot of the time I am more comfortable being the guy behind the scenes. I am more comfortable being the guy at the back. I am the one who doesn't necessarily want to be seen by everyone as the leader, or want to be seen by everyone as the guy in the front, because sometimes I don't think that's where my value is. But I think the balancing act is finding out which times we should be leading from the front and which times we shouldn't. And again, it's about finding that balance of not having an emotional reaction to it, whether it's ego or insecurity. So that's my challenge to everyone for today, is to try and see what things you're reacting to based on ego, see what things you're reacting to based on insecurities, and trying to find the balance of just being in between the two, and not really having a reaction other than a reaction that's based on yourself and your own self-worth, and knowing what you need to do and where you need to be. And the other challenge is accept the leadership role that you need to take in specific instances. Sometimes you have to lead from the front, and sometimes you have to lead from the back. It's about finding which one it is, accepting which one it is, and knowing your worth in between all of it.